let's proceed to the training. In this step, you will understand what you need to know and what you need to do when you start the job. Now, for the questions, how long does the training requires? It won't take you a long time to finish the training. Actually, it's just a one-time process. And what are the things to learn? Everything you need to learn before bago ka sumabak sa klase, you are going to learn that on your training period. So those will be the processes and the rules and the important notes before, during, and after the class. And then you also have the parts of the Acadsoc tutors website, system navigation, and the class table. And then we have the Philippine and the Chinese customer service contacts. Who are they, how to contact them, and so on. And then for letter D, it's going to be about the teaching tools. One of them is Skype. However, few teachers are using Skype because they already provided the teachers with other teaching tools such as ClassIn. And then, of course, the last one would be the things that you need to do on your demo class, which will be the next step after the training. Anyways, in the training process, remember, you are learning the things you need for the class. So, of course, you can presume some situations you may encounter and you can ask questions about it. You can also try to imagine yourself like you're there, because by that time, your brain would start to be curious about what you need to do. You know, malalaman mo yung mga kailangan mo pagka naisip mo na nandun ka na sa sitwasyon na yon. However, anyways, teaching online is not as difficult as what others were expecting. Actually, it's fun, and I personally enjoy it. That's why I wanted to share my experiences to you guys. But of course, you don't like to be like clicking on the buttons that will lead you to errors. You should learn everything you need before you start the next step, right? Or even your online teaching career, because this is gonna be your job. Now, step number 4, the demo class. This, I can say, will be the most challenging part of your application. But don't worry, it's not difficult, or it's not as difficult as what you're expecting. You don't need to be scared, nothing to be nervous about. Demo class, for me, personally, it was fun. You know, of course, initially, I want you to understand that, generally speaking, it applies to all. Before a company approves the application, they must see your potential. Okay? That's a given fact. And being aware of what you are applying for, you must prove your capability of being one. Diba? Of course, you're going to be in the reality that failing from the application process doesn't mean you don't deserve to be an English teacher. Failing, on the brighter side, helps you understand that you just need to be better equipped. You know, on this case, the demo class requires you to contain the following. Okay, of course, number 1, your device requirements. You need a working laptop, stable internet connection, and working audio and visual devices. Regarding the device requirements, you need, for the working laptop, it should be at least Windows 7, Intel Core i3 with 4 gig RAM. And then for your stable internet connection, it can be DSL or broadband or fiber internet connection. However, it must be at least 3 Mbps download and then 2 Mbps upload. And then for your audio visual devices, it should have a noise cancelling headphone. Your headphone should have a noise cancelling feature. And then you need to provide yourself an HD webcam. I currently use Logitech for my headphone, and yes, it's with a noise cancelling feature. However, just to share with you, my first headphone, which I bought for only around 250 pesos, doesn't have a noise cancelling feature. But I used it for around 3 years, which was really amazing, and it's still working now. But I tried to upgrade because I don't want to have any technical problems during the class by any cost, so I bought a new one, which was around 1,400 maybe. It's an investment. You know, as a beginner, you could start with just something you could afford or something you could use, something that works. And as time goes by, if you have extra, you could invest for something better and or have an extra in case. Okay? Now, having a more expensive headphones or devices or mic won't literally invite more students to book your class, although it helps, alright? But these devices are costing you higher because they give you a better quality and a better satisfaction for teaching. You could listen to yourself on the recordings and your voice is clear, you're home based, and you can't sue people in the house by making noises they produce. Just like when you're really comfortable on your comfort zone, right? So as to me, I have 2 dogs, though they don't bark so much, but they are still dogs and I cannot sue them for barking. So these headsets with a noise cancelling feature is really a must. So that's something I could recommend. Now, second is a laptop. Okay, I am currently using Lenovo Intel Core i7, but I was a student in college when I started being an ESL teacher. Now, no work, no money, so I started to be using the laptop my papa gave me, which was Core i5. I was pretty lucky because its performance was really good for online classes, but the problem I got back then was the internet speed, which would lead us to the third and the most important requirement here. Okay, going way back a couple of years ago, I got PLDT at first, which didn't give me a good experience. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And then I switched to Globe broadband Wi-Fi. Then now at the moment I upgraded to Globe Fiber. I'm paying around 2,000 to 2,500 monthly, and then so far it's the best. I haven't experienced any interruptions for years. Just have the discipline of paying the bills on time. Now, if you're a home-based ESL teacher, of course, everybody knows this, internet is life, lifer, lifest. Of course, we're not yet done. The second main requirement for this job is, of course, yourself. In Acadsoc website, you would see qualifications of a teacher such as, no, we call it the minimum qualifications. And you will see there, you need to have an excellent English communication skills. And then you should be capable of teaching kids. You should have a bachelor's degree or higher. You must be 20 years old or above. You must be available teaching, your available teaching hours should be 6 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Mondays to Fridays, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturdays to Sundays. You should have a quiet, clutter-free, and a friendly home. You should have a friendly space for you to have class. It should not be noisy. Personally for me, you don't need to be the best to be able to enter this career. Excellent English communication skill, maybe I can speak the language, but when I started, I am not like this. I learned from one important person in my life to do better every day, and I'm living to it. Like, if you're thinking, hindi naman ako magaling mag-English, baka hindi para sa akin yan. Or, of course, you should have the English communication skills. But don't discourage yourself if you feel na hindi ka magaling. I personally enhanced my English communication skills in this job. I was not good as this when I started the job. I'm not saying na magaling na ako ngayon, but what I'm saying is that everybody deserves improvements. You know, improvements are everywhere. We just need to grab it. Other questions would be when will you know if you qualified? Usually, you will be informed right away after the demo. You will already know it. And then Acadsoc will provide you the things you need for the demo class. So don't forget, you can ask questions to your trainers. That's something others forget to do because they're nervous or they're scared of their trainers. Actually, you could ask questions. If you really do not know what to do at first, you may ask them. Then they will guide you more. And then if it will be a help for you to lessen your stress, ask them or be open about it. They will sure encourage you. No, to my experience, I directly ask them situational questions, such as, like, what if the student is a beginner or a zero level who really couldn't understand basic instructions, such as, what's your name? What should I do? Right? And then they told me you could provide them with the Google translated words in Chinese. You can initially give your name, like tell them your name, and they will that's like a lead for them. Number 2, what if the student asks me questions that's not in the book, right? Because I know Acadsoc provides books. So what if the student asks me a question that's not in the book? The answer that they told me was just for me to be flexible and expand my teaching capability. And that is true. Don't be scared to browse during the class. You have the internet. However, of course, do not browse anything that's not related to the class. Just find something resourceful. But always be careful to teach them the correct information. You don't want to be misleading them. There are actually lots to prepare just for the demo class. And I believe courage isn't all that you need. Kung halimbawa, it's your first time and then, nagtitiwala ka lang sa sarili mo, I can do this. Wala naman akong magawa eh. It's best to be armed before you battle a war. There's nothing wrong with asking questions if that's the most you can do at the moment. Diba?